So today I want to talk about the pre-closing walkthrough. And you'll notice that I called it the pre-closing walkthrough. And your broker might call it the final walkthrough. That might be what your team says or what you've been saying. It's not wrong. The reason I call it that is because in the purchase contract it does state that it's the pre-closing walkthrough, and that's the name of the document. And in order to limit my liability, I try to use as much of the same language as I can, so that they don't get confused if this was something else. Um, Protect your butt down the road. Um, so with the pre-closing walkthrough, you're going to want to make sure you take that form with you, and you're also going to want to make sure that you take the Binzer with you. So when you're walking through the house, this is your last ditch moment where you can say, time out, this isn't what I signed up for. And you want to make sure you're holding the sellers accountable. You've heard horror stories about how, the house was still occupied and they had dressers. Well, they had strategically placed the dressers right in front of a hole in the wall. So when they moved out, there was a hole. Well, you signed the pre-closing walkthrough saying that the house is in the correct condition to do your thing, so that's where the liability piece comes in. So when you walk through the house, you want to check all of the items on the Binzer. Hopefully you've received receipts at this point. If you have not, I would strongly recommend that you reach out to the listing agent and say, I'd like to see this stuff to make sure that we're on track. If it's roof tiles or something like that, especially, hopefully you're not climbing up on the roof. That could potentially put you in a lot of danger. So obviously nobody wants that to be the case. So if you have that as proof to show your buyers and have them feel confident that that sort of thing has been completed, that's definitely a win-win for you and a win-win for them. So in the event that you find something that wasn't completed, that was supposed to be completed by the time that you did the walkthrough, there's a section in that document where you can state that you walked through the house and this is what wasn't completed that was supposed to. And at that point, you're able to negotiate and figure out, how are we taking care of this? We need to get it in writing. When can we expect it to be done? Is it scheduled already? That way you can still close and still hold that other side accountable if they don't do what they're supposed to do. Because it is the seller's responsibility to make sure that all repairs are completed prior to that walkthrough, so that they're able to pass along the house as the buyer is going to receive it. So that's thoughts on that. It's super easy. If everything's good to go, you just say it's good to go. And if you disapprove of it because the house is a wreck or whatever reason, you can disapprove it as well. So it's your last chance.